Hi guys, Hannah here. So today we're going to do our full body flow. So you might notice I've got some ankle weights on, just some little ones, they're like £2. If you guys want to use them, great. If you don't have them, all good. And maybe you want to come back to this at a different time when you feel a little bit stronger and you might want to do it again and make it a little harder with those ankle weights. So we've also got some light dumbbells as well. Again, guys, if you don't have any dumbbells, then you absolutely don't need them for the class, okay? So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to face towards you, but you can face towards the mat if you want. We're going to have our feet underneath of our hips. We're going to roll those shoulders back, and let's just start with a really nice articulation. So we're going to roll down for me, one vertebrae after the other. Really let your arms hang, and these weights actually quite assist with this. Good, and then roll back up, engaging that core for me, and rolling those shoulders back up at the top, and again, rolling down. So just for reference, my weights are just £5 each, good. In kilograms, what's that? I don't know, £10? No, not quite. I don't know, someone let me know in the comments. And rolling back, and last one, rolling down, head is nice and heavy. And last one, engage the core, belly button into the spine, rolling up and roll our shoulders back. Now, let's walk our feet out nice and wide so we're in that second position for me. We're going to lace our elbows into our waist for me and have our palms up like we're going to serve a platter. So from here, let's inhale as we squat down and exhale as we come back up. So inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. So really tapping into that Pilates breath for me. Good. We're going to do 5 more for me. Beautiful. And 4. You know it's going to get spicy in a minute, guys. 3. Really try and keep that connection to the breath. 2. Last one, we're going to stay down. Now, I want you to serve that platter. Rotate to the left side and serve the platter and then pull it back in because we decided we don't want to share. A twist to the right and pull it back in. Can we get a little bit lower? And again, yes, really activating that little bit of core rotation. And 2, back through center. And 1, back through center. Go ahead, come all the way up. Walk those feet back in underneath of your hips. And let's take both weights into your right hand. We're going to bring our left fingertips up to our temple for me. From here, let's actually zipper those legs together for me. From here, inhale to prepare. Lean over towards those weights. Reach them down to the leg and exhale as we come up using that waist. Again, inhaling as we lower and exhaling as we lift. So can you imagine that you're between 2 panes of glass? You can't come forward, you can't come back, you're just coming straight over to the side and straight back up. Good. And this slowly, guys, because we don't want to be using any momentum. Last 2 for me, and 2. And last one, let's stay over. And let's start as we mean to go on, and small, tiny pulses. And I don't want big ballistic pulses. I want tiny little movements just from our waist. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up. You guessed it, second side. Just be lucky you don't have more than 2 sides, guys. Take a nice deep breath in as we hinge over and exhale as we come up and again. And actually this feels quite a nice stretch on the side as well, to be honest, guys. So we don't get a lot of chance to do lateral flexion or that spinal rotation. So whenever we do, I sprinkle that in very generously. And 3, keep breathing. And 2, ground down through your feet like you're a tree. And 1, stay here, small, tiny pulses. Now, are you still between those 2 panes of glass? Is your elbow still out to the side? And come all the way up, relax the arms down. Now, grab hold of those weights into the hands. So I'm going to step off of my mat because my mat's a bit squishy and sometimes it's hard to balance. So play around with the surface that you're on for this next part. I'm going to get you to go ahead and bring our arms just in front of our legs. Again, plug those shoulders in. Put all of your weight onto your left leg, hovering that left foot off. And can we just bend ever so slightly into that supporting leg? Keep those shoulder blades together, and we're coming over to a single leg deadlift. We're hinging over for me, leg comes back, body comes down, and we come all the way up. And can we just drive that knee up for me? And again, hinging over for me. Good, and come all the way up. Yes, and if you're in bare feet like me, you'll notice that this is a bit more challenging than if you've got runners on. Good. And last one for me. We go ahead, we come forward. Let's hold. Are our shoulder blades still plugged in? Can we pulse that back leg up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up. Shake it off. From here, go ahead, put all of our weight onto that right foot for me. Hover that left foot off. Again, arms are in front of your legs, but we don't want to be rounding in the shoulders. Soft supporting leg, we go ahead, we hinge over, keeping that chest proud for me, and come all the way up. Now, maybe you're like me, and you have one side that for sure is better at balance. So typically my side that's better at balance, and typically everything, because the one that I demo on in classes. Good, woo. And if you're like me and you almost just lost it, that's okay, just take a second, find it again. And last one for me. And come all the way up. And we got a pulse. And pulse that leg up for 10, 9, keep the shoulders back. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, come all the way up. Lower down, roll back. Can you guess? 3 guesses which is my stronger side. Now, let's go ahead and come on back to our mat for me, okay? So, once we're back onto our mat, I want you to go ahead and come back into that articulation again that we did right at the top of class. So, we're going to roll down for me, and we're going to walk out slowly. Good, you can place the weights out here ahead of time if you want. Good. From here, we're going to go ahead as we're stepping one foot in, stepping the other, nice flat back. And let's put those weights up onto a vertical. Notice how my back is still straight, so I'm not rounding into my lower back. Good. From here, I'm gently holding on for a little bit of support onto my weights as I'm going to bring my leg back for me. Now, straight back, look to the end of the mat. We go ahead as we lift the leg and we lower. So that left leg is bent for me, guys. Good. We want to point those toes. And this is where those ankle weights, just that little bit of extra resistance, just adds it up a notch. But again, guys, whether you use them or not, does not change the effectiveness of the workout. Good. We're going to do 2 more. And last one, stay here, draw the knee in round the back, and nice flat back as we extend the leg. Angry cat the spine, and reach and get long. And I've probably got 80% of my weight in my legs and my core, and probably like 20% into my arms. Good, and last one for me. Round, and reach, and lower. Go ahead, take a second for me, shake it off. Switching sides. So my right leg is now bent. Again, we're thinking of screwing those armpits in for me, so we're not rounding into the shoulders. Put all of my weight into my right foot as we lift our left leg, just hovering up off the floor. We lift it up and we lower. Good. As we lift and lower. So with that supporting leg, can we just make sure that our knee isn't collapsing into the center? We want to think about our leg as being a train track. Our knee, our ankle, our hip, all in one little train track. Last one, stay here. Go ahead as we pulse it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay here, round the back and scoop. And reach and get long for me. And again, look towards the navel. And reach and get long. And last 2 for me. And reach and get long. And last one for me. Reach and get long. Lower it down. Come on down to our knees for me. Lower our weights to our mat. And let's just scooch ourselves a little bit back for me. So now, guys, we're going to come on to our floor portion. And a floor portion it will be, my friends. So, From here, coming down onto all fours for me. Now we can absolutely stay on all fours. We can come back onto our knees, so we're straight from our knee to the crown of our head. Or if we're feeling crazy like maybe I am today, we're going to come onto our toes. From here, lock that core in. Make sure we lower our bum so it's in line with our back. We're going to row and reach the arm into a T and back down. We're going to row and reach into a T and lower with control. So like I always say, guys, think about as you come out of it, doing the work as well. We often focus on the movement, and then as we come out of the movement, we kind of just collapse. We don't want to let gravity bring that weight down. And 3 more for me. And 3. And I actually quite like this one. And 2. Everyone's like on your own. And 1. And lower down. Drop down to those knees. Send ourselves back just for a second. And then move the weights just to one side just for a second. But guys, don't put them away. Don't be hasty because we will need them. Now, come on down to a side prop position for me. We're going to have both legs nice and straight on that diagonal. Again, we're on our side, but we're lifting that waist up off the floor for me. Let's go ahead and grab hold of our dumbbell. Now, from here, I want you to laterally rotate that top leg for me, which means that our knee and our toes are facing up towards the sky. Shoulders pushed away from our ear. Take that weight, bring it above into a T. From here, we take a nice deep breath in as we lift the leg and lower the arm to tap and reach them back down. So we reach them to tap and back down. Now you might want to come a little bit past that leg or not, whichever. And 4, depends on your range of motion. And 3, and 2, and 1, and lower down. Good. Let's bend the legs for me. And then from here, we're going to come into almost like a side sit-up. So we're going to bend our elbow just into here. We're coming from our elbow onto our hand as we reach our weight to our heel. And we're going to lower back down. And again, side sit-up and lower back down. If coming up is too much and you just want to stay here, that's fabulous as well, guys. And 3, control back down. And 2, beautiful. And 1, and lower. Good. Now, let's go ahead. Let's come on down onto a rested position, just like so for me. I'm going to extend my bottom leg nice and long. Good. My top leg is like Jane Fonda. So I'm bringing, if it's good enough for Jane, it's good enough for us, right? So we're going to bring my foot just behind us on the floor. I'm going to get us to flex our foot for me. From here, let's lift the inner thigh and lower. Good. So lift and lower. We can also come down onto just our resting position here, which actually is kind of a better position for that neck, actually. I'm going to stay propped up because I want to see you. Well, I can't see you, but I can imagine I can see you. Good. And 4, 3, keep breathing, relaxing the upper body. 2, and 1, stay lifted and pulse that leg up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stay here. Small, tiny circles. And guys, we've got to do this slow, otherwise it doesn't even resemble a circle. It's more like a blob. So, maybe it's blob-like, but we want to keep it, somewhat controlled. And 3, 2, 1, and circle the other direction for 10, 9, 8, 7, keep breathing, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower down. Gorgeous. Now, we're going to go ahead. We're going to finish off. Well, I tell a lie. We've got 2 more onto our side. I don't tell a lie on purpose, guys. Now, from here, we're holding on to that weight still. Coming up onto our knees, and like a little teapot, we're going to come on down. So come on down to that left hand. Again, guys, if you've got funky wrists and you want to bring that weight just underneath, which actually I may do, then it helps just stack a little bit, okay? Now, my top leg is nice and long, and I'm going to go ahead and reach my weight down to the floor. But notice how I'm not rotating, okay? So from here, my elbow is slightly bent so it can stay into the waist. we're going to lift the leg up as we simultaneously row the elbow and lowering back down. So even though we're in this side position, I want, again, our head to be on straight. Again, we don't want it like fish bait dangling down. Perfect. Keep breathing, keep our shoulders stacked, keep our knees nice and forward so that they're parallel. And 3, and 2, row that elbow, and 1, stay here, hold, for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower everything down. Lose that supporting weight, but keep hold on to this weight. Back onto the elbow. From here, legs are extended. We're going to have them again slightly on the diagonal. Now, again, as always, push away from that shoulder. Lift that leg up, lift the arm. I'm going to get you to lift the arm forward and reach the leg back. And then like a pendulum, we're going to switch and switch and 5. Now, whilst we're doing this, can we really lift our waist up from the floor? And 5. And 4, good, and 3, keep breathing, 2, keep hold on to our belly button as we reach forward, and 1, and lower down. Gorgeous job, guys. Now, let's go ahead, let's come onto your back for me. Take a second, center ourselves top to bottom and side to side, and then let's go ahead and cradle our hands behind our head. We're going to keep our left foot into the floor as we extend our right leg nice and long. Now, remember, when we're cradling our head, it's just that. We don't want to be yanking our neck at all, okay? So our head is heading into our hands, not the other way around. We take a nice deep breath in, we curl up and over as we lift the leg up and curl up and control as we lower down. And again, we lift and hold for a split second. And lowering back down. And we have another 6. Beautiful. Imagine at the top you're pausing just long enough to take a picture. And lower back down. And 3 more. Although really who wants to be pictured when you're exercising, right? And 2. And last one. And now we're going to go ahead and come into a bicycle. So we're going to bend that right knee as we curl over with that left elbow and lower back down. 5 more here. And 5. Beautiful. And 4. Think about almost your armpit coming to your knee as opposed to your elbow. 2. And 1. And then we're going to combo them. So we're going to do 1 leg lift and curl straight. Lower down. And then 1 bicycle curl. And reach that leg long. Long leg and curl and lower and bicycle curl and reach and 2 and lower and oblique curl. Last one each way. Good. And control down and curl and lower everything. Take a second just to relax that neck out. And again, guys, if you have any neck issues and you want to keep your head down for this, that works too. So right foot stays into the floor, left leg extends. Try to level those hips off for me. Inhale to prepare, exhale, curl up and over as we sweep the left leg up and curl and control back down. And again, we lift and curl. Elbows are out to the side so they're not crunching forward. And again, and 3, control out of it, and 2, and lower back down, and 1, getting ready for our oblique curl, bending the left leg, curl up and over, and reach and get long. Again, we go ahead, we curl, and we reach, and we have 3, nice and long, and 2, getting ready for our combo, and 1. Let's do a little combo, let's remix. We curl up and over, leg lift, lower down, and oblique curl, gorgeous. Again, leg sweep, and lower, and oblique curl, and back down, and 3, beautiful, and curl, breathing, guys. Good. You'd be surprised at how often I have to cue that in a day. And one. And last one here. And back down. Lower everything down. Now, I want to bring your hands into a little diamond. Bridge the hips up and place your hands on top of that little diamond, underneath those hips for me. So it's kind of underneath almost the tab of your pants. Bring our right leg up into tabletop, our left leg, and go ahead and make sure that we're situated. Hug those arms into the side. Extend the legs up and laterally rotate. So again, heels are together, toes are apart. Zippering those inner thighs together. We're going to go ahead, we're opening up and we're closing. Okay, so this is just the basic movement. We're opening and we're closing. Now we can stay here, or as we come out, we can pulse 1, 2, 3, and pulse together. 1, 2, 3. Open. 1, 2, 3, and close. And 1, 2, 3. If you want to make it a bit more spicy this time, we pulse 1, 2, 3, and then we crisscross 1, 2, 3. We open. 1, 2, 3, and crisscross. 1, 2, 3, and open. 1, 2, 3, and crisscross. 1, 2, 3, and open. 1, 2, 3, and crisscross. 1, 2, 3. Last one and 1, 2, 3, and crisscross. 1, 2, 3. Legs together. Lower them down for me. Good. Nice. Reach those legs nice and long. Let's take that full body stretch for me, which I always love to do because we get very compressed during the day. So it just feels really nice just to let it all extend. Good. Breathing here. And let's go ahead and let's grab those weights for me. Careful grabbing those weights. Good. We're going to reach the arms overhead. We're going to come into some roll-ups. So if the weights are too heavy for you, ditch them. We're going to go ahead and flex the feet, keeping our legs squeezed together, making sure our arms are lifted so our ribs are sunken down into our torso and our back is somewhat connected to the floor. We inhale as our arms come up. We exhale as we dive up and over, rolling back down slowly, 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 slowly. I know. And again, inhale as our arms come up. Exhale, like we're diving over a beach ball for me, or someone's tickling our tummy, and rolling back down for me. And last one, we go ahead and reach the arms up. Curl up and over, exaggerate that scoop, and sitting up nice and tall. Now, we're going to go ahead, we're going to bring our weights just behind us. We're going to bring our feet flat onto the floor, chest is proud for me, and we're going to have our knees about hip distance apart, okay? So from here, walk those hands back a little bit. After the first repetition, you'll work out where you need to be for you. So we're going to come onto a reverse tabletop. We're lifting the hips up for me, lowering them back down with control, sitting up nice and tall, extend the legs, bring the hands to our shoulders and push overhead. Lovely, bring it back down, bend the legs, lift the hips for me, lower them down, extend the legs, wrap the shoulders and reach them above. Yes, and again, last 2 for me. Good. Now if you've got tight shoulders, this kind of feels a little bit dicey. And guys, if you need to bend your legs in this position because you don't have the range of motion, go ahead and do so, guys. Remember, modification is not weakness. It just helps you get to your goals better. And reach and lower and back down. Gorgeous. Now, let's go ahead. Let's swing those legs around. We've got that side lying position to do. So, remember all those fun exercises? How can you forget, right? So, I want you to go ahead, leave one of the weights for me and grab one of the weights. Elbow is underneath of our shoulder for me. Legs are extended on that diagonal. And let's go ahead, again, let's laterally rotate that top leg. So heels together, toes up to the ceiling, knees up to the ceiling. Again, guys, I want us to lift up out of our waist for me. So you can see when I tuck this t-shirt in, you can see that I'm lifted away. So from here, let's go ahead, let's bring that weight into our hand, reaching up. From here, we go ahead, leg comes to weight, weight comes to leg, and lower back down. So it's almost like a little side crunch, and then extension. And we have 4, perfect, and 3, and back down, and 2, and lower, and last one, and back down. Now, keep hold of the weight, bend the knees for me. And then we're going to come onto that side sit-up. So again, if you need to stay down onto your elbow, fabulous. Otherwise, go ahead, bend the elbow, so we're racking that weight. We're going to come up to our hand and bring our elbow to our knee and lower back down. And again, we're coming up, bringing that weight to that foot and lower back down again. Now, as we're doing this, really make sure that you're not slinking back down into that elbow. Good, last one for me. And lower back down. Gorgeous. Now, from here, leave the weight for a second. Come on down. Again, this is the part where you can absolutely use that arm as a little pillow for me, which feels quite a nice relaxation on the neck. I'm going to stay looking at you. From here, let's extend those legs for me. This is our Jane. So bending our back leg and bringing our back foot onto that mat. Flexing that bottom foot for me. Think inner thigh. We lift the leg and we lower. So this always reminds me of also my British people. Do you remember the Green Goddess? No? Anywhere in Canada or America, I want you to go ahead and I want you to Google the Green Goddess from the 80s. She made quite the impression on my young life, watching her exercising in her green leotard, hence the Green Goddess. Think Richard Simmons, but like the female version. Actually, no. I think the equivalent to Richard Simmons in the UK would be Mr. Motivator. Yes, Google him. And last one, stay lifted. Pulse the leg up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Circle forward and circle and 10. Nice and slow. 9. Keep the foot flexed. 8 and 7 and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reverse, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower that down. Goodness me. Okay, coming on up to our side kneeling position. Again, we're going to need one of those weights. Actually, you know what? I use that other weight knife for stacking, which I'm going to do because that felt quite good on my wrist. Now, again, we're going to go ahead and we're going to have that top leg extended for me and that arm is going to be in front. But again, we're not rounding forward. From here, chest is proud, head is on straight. We lift the leg and we row and we lower back down. Good. And exhale to lift, inhale to lower. And even though we're in this side position, I want us to still be thinking about hanging on to our belly button. We're not sucking it in for dear life, just that small contraction. Good. We have 3 and 2. And last one, hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let everything down. Come on down for the last time onto that side prop position. Extend those legs on the diagonal. This time the legs are parallel. Again, we're still pulling away from that floor for me. From here, let's do our little pendulum. So we reach our leg back, our arm forward, and then we switch them. Again, reach, maybe a little bit of extension if that feels good, and sweep them back. And again, and 5, and back, and 4, yes, and 3, beautiful, and 2, that weight started to go a little bit heavy now, and 1, and lower down. So good, guys. Now, coming up to that kneeling position, we're going to go ahead and we're going to come into a wide kneeling position. Now, guys, if you have knees that are a little bit delicate, then by all means, if you like a cushion, or if you'd like something to kneel on, then go ahead and do so. And guys, if you aren't comfortable down in this position, you can absolutely stay up in that tall kneeling position, or guys, you can even come to a stand. Always something, like I always say, you might as well not be in pain whilst you're in pain, right? Otherwise, I'm going to get you to bring our arms to our side. So from here, I'm going to come up onto a tall kneeling position as I lift my arms up to the side and I slowly lower back down. Again, lifting up, squeeze and engage the glutes and lower back down. And again, we have 6 and lowering with control and 5. Yes, yes, yes. And 4, keep the shoulders out of the ears. And 3, and lower, and keep breathing. 2, and 1, stay here, lower the arms down. Now, your left arm is going to continue doing the exact same thing. Your right arm is going to go ahead so your palm is facing towards you. From here, we're coming into this cheerleader move. So we're going to come into a lateral and a frontal raise, lower down and switch. Beautiful. Now, as we're switching, make sure that we're not rotating into that body at all. We have 6, nice, and 5, keep breathing. Keep those glutes engaged for me, yes, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and lower back down. Gorgeous, nice. Now from here, we're going to go ahead. We're going to sit down onto our bum for me. Like crisscross applesauce. And then I'm going to reach our fingertips forward. So we go ahead and reach those fingertips forward for me. Stretching into those glutes. I've worked a little bit hard today. And then we walk over to our right side. Try to land and keep our left glute down for me. And walking over to our right side, our left side, left and right, you know, goodness me. There's a 50-50 chance, isn't it? And come back through center and walk back up towards you. And then switch our legs the other way, which always feels really bizarre. Go ahead, walking forward again. We get a slightly different stretch here. Let's walk over to the left side. And I actually do mean the left side this time, guys. And come back through center. And walk over to the right side for me. And come back through center. And come all the way up. Can we shrug our shoulders to our ears? Squeeze them back and slide down. And again, shoulders to the ears. Squeeze back, slide down. And last one. Shoulders to the ears. Squeeze back, slide down. Bring our left ear to our shoulder. Just hold on to our right wrist and gently give it a pull down. So we're really stretching into the muscle and the fascia. Breathing, breathing, and come back through center, relax it out, and go ahead, bring our right ear to our right shoulder, hold on to our left wrist, again, gently pull. So we're not yanking it out of its socket, we're just giving it a gentle assist to keep that shoulder down, and come all the way up. Look down towards our chest, look up towards the ceiling. Bring our head on straight and give yourself a round of applause. Guys, you did fabulously. Now, like I said, maybe you want to do this again. Maybe if you didn't do it with weights this time, maybe do it with weights next time. And you can almost get like a whole different experience from the class. Okay, my darlings, have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you next time.